हरिओम। चैंट विद मी। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। हरिओम। प्रभु जी, पहले भी वर्णावत यात्रा के दौरान आपको मिलवाया था माइकल से। माइकल इंग्लैंड से हैं, इंडिया आए थे योग और किसी गुरु की तलाश में। यहाँ आने के बाद उत्तरकाशी में जब ये पहुँचे, इन्होंने योग की कुछ क्लासेस ज्वाइन की, तभी लॉकडाउन हो गया और इनके कहीं भी रहने की व्यवस्था नहीं हुई। परेशान हो गए तो यहाँ पर ये बिमलेश्वर महादेव के जो दिवाकर शास्त्री जी हैं वो इनको मिले उत्तरकाशी में, इनको यहाँ ले आए और आज ये 4 महीने से यहाँ पर हैं। अब यहाँ आने के बाद इनका हमसे संपर्क हुआ, हमारे साथ सिकलेश्वर भी गए। इनको बताया कि कहीं गुरु के लिए दौड़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, यहाँ बैठो, मेडिटेशन करो, योग करो, बाबा जी की ब्लेसिंग्स लो, प्रैक्टिस करो। जब प्रैक्टिस करोगे तो तुम्हारे अंदर जो गुरु बैठा है वो बाहर आएगा और तुम्हें तुम्हारा मार्गदर्शन करेगा। जब मैं आपको बताता हूँ ध्यान की प्रक्रियाएं, मौन की प्रक्रियाएं और चीज़ें, तो हम लोग सवाल बहुत करते हैं, करते नहीं हैं। माइकल या मैंने और भी लोगों को देखा है जो बाहर से आते हैं, विदेशों से, यूरोप से यहाँ मिलते हैं, उनको एक बार बता दो कि ये करो, वो वही करने लगते हैं, प्रैक्टिस करने लगते हैं, धीरे 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 पकड़ लेते हैं, आगे बढ़ते हैं। तो माइकल ने पिछले 1 महीने में जब सिकलेश्वर गए थे, आपके सामने याद होगा आपको, हम सिकलेश्वर गए थे 15 या 20 दिन पहले, बिमलेश्वर से सिकलेश्वर की यात्रा का वीडियो भी आपने देखा होगा। तब माइकल के साथ सिटिंग हुआ, उनको बताया कुछ करने के लिए, उन्होंने अभ्यास किया। अभी वो सनसेट से लेके सनराइज तक की सारी प्रक्रियाएं करने लगे हैं। कैसे हम चंद्रमा का अर्ध चलाते हैं, चंद्रमा की पूजा करते हैं, कैसे हम सूर्य प्राणायाम करते हैं, सोते समय कैसे मेडिटेशन करते हैं, सुबह कैसे ओम भ्रामरी करते हैं, गायत्री करते हैं, महामृत्युंजय करते हैं, सारी प्रक्रिया करते हैं। अभी पहले माइकल से पूछते हैं, माइकल के बारे में ये खुद ही बताएंगे। उसके बाद ये जो प्रक्रिया करते हैं वो प्रक्रिया आपको दिखाएंगे कि माइकल कैसे करते हैं। तो पहले माइकल से ही पूछते हैं।
Well, thank you very much, Sannyasi ji, for that lovely introduction and welcome. And it's lovely to be able to speak to you all. As Sannyas said, my name is Michael. I come from Glastonbury in England and I arrived in India in January. My intention was to come to India to develop my yoga skills, pranayam, meditation, and take them back to the UK where I can help other people in the West develop their skills as well. Unfortunately, as we're all aware, coronavirus came towards the end of March, and subsequently I have been in Utkashi, staying at Bimleshwar Temple for the last 4.5 months, which has been brilliant, to be honest, because it's allowed me to practice on my sadhana, my yoga, and learn the skills that I wanted to in an environment which is very conducive to being able to realize those goals. And obviously I met Sannyasi along the way, and he has taught me some more practices as well. We had a sitting about 2 weeks ago at Siddhasana Temple just at the top of the mountain, where my aura was read and the blessings of Babaji were passed and bestowed down onto me, which meant that I could further my practices in the morning practices on Brahmari, Gayatri Mantra, Pranayam, Jajamahe, and other things as well. So I'm very grateful. And tonight we're going to demonstrate, because I know there's been a few questions that have been on the YouTube channel about how to perform the practices.
Thank you. अब हम माइकल से जानते हैं कि माइकल कैसे क्या करते हैं। तो ये खुद आपको करके बताएंगे। एक एक चीज को तो आप देखिएगा.
Good evening, everyone. The first practice that we're going to do this evening is the Chandrama practice. This will be a short demonstration to show you how to perform the practice correctly so that you can perform your sadhana in the best way possible. First of all, in the evening time, when the moon comes out, you want to locate the moon in the sky. Direct your body towards the moon and stand up straight. With your feet angled at 45 degrees, spreading out. This way you direct the energy coming down and you focus it so it's most powerful. Next, you take your arms and you place them 45 degrees up. So this would be 90, this would also be here. You want to get it in the middle, just here, okay? Looking at the moon as well, you put your hands together and in here you would have some Deepak. And slowly, without moving your arms, just rotate the wrists around several times with the Deepak in your hand, looking directly at the moon. You perform this several times, slowly, gently, careful. And once you've completed it several times, you bring the Deepak down, you place it down on the ground, and then you want to put your hands behind your back. Now, when you put your hands behind your back, you want to clasp them like this. So you see that just there? That's how you would like to have your hands. You take a seat as well, and then once you're settled, with your hands still behind your back, sitting in Siddhasana, you look at the moon, and for the next 10 minutes, you want to direct your focus onto the moon. Keep your back straight, your body in line, and just focus on the moon. It's fine to blink, but keep your focus on the moon with your hands behind your back in a position that I demonstrated. And just keep your attention on the moon. Try to allow the thoughts to just empty from your mind as you focus onto the moon. And feel the energy of the moon coming down and hitting your body. And like I said, stay in this position for 10 minutes.
Okay, next.
Okay. Once you've completed that for 10 minutes, in the evening time when you retire to bed, there's another practice as well which we've been taught. In this, you keep your body position the same, sit in Siddhasana as so, and this practice here reduces your blood pressure. It also eliminates any anxiety or negative feelings that you have during the day, and you pull in a lot of positive energy before you go to bed. So you keep things to one side and you draw in the positivity. So sitting in Siddhasana, sit in this position here, and what you want to do is, as you were holding the Deepak, bring your hands together and bring them up to your Anahata chakra, the heart chakra, as if you are in an offering position. Imagine you are holding a very delicate flower in your hands, and in your mind you want to imagine and picture whatever deity or idol or even someone that you just appreciate and respect sitting in a similar position in front of you or standing, and imagine their feet. And what you're going to be doing is slowly offering any negativity that you've had throughout the day and placing it at their feet, and opening the arms and bringing them slowly back together where they were in front of the Anahata chakra. Now what you want to be doing when you're doing this is not only focusing and imagining on the feet of whomever it is or whatever that you have in your mind, but those negative actions, karma throughout the day that have happened or occurred, you want to categorize them, and with each one deliver them to the feet of that deity. So as you do this, you are dropping your negativity at the feet of that person or thing. And keep your eyes closed for this practice. It doesn't need to be long, just a couple of minutes, or however many of those negative karmic actions that you feel that you've done in the day. So without further ado, I'll give you an example. And as I'm doing it, all that negative thought that's happened throughout the day, I'm slowly releasing and letting go of. And that has an effect on the system. It calms you, it brings you to a center point, and it relaxes you as well. Now, after you've done that for a few times, or as many times as you feel you're happy with, the next process is to put your hands together again, out in front of you, with your thumbs facing downwards. Now it's important to keep your thumbs down, and what you want to imagine in your mind's eye is that those feet which you just delivered that negative thought to, you are touching with your hands, and you are drawing the positivity from that being or entity into your heart chakra. So it's almost the opposite of what you were doing before, and you are drawing any positive characteristics, or how could I say, attributes that that deity holds into your being. So for instance, for me personally, I would think of Shiva, and I would think of Shiva as being courageous, strong, standing up in the face of adversity, and having the strength and courage to voice what he felt was truth. So I would be bringing that into my Anahata. I will perform a couple of demonstrations for you. So remembering to keep your thumbs down and drawing in that positive energy into your heart chakra, and then with your arms bringing them back out in front of you so they touch again, and continuing that until you feel happy or comfortable, or you feel like you've done enough. A couple of minutes will suffice, and then once you've done that for your last time and brought it in, keep your eyes closed while you're doing this as well. It makes it easier to focus. Bring your hands together, and then what you want to do is rub them together. Rub them as fast or as hard as you like until you build up some friction between your palms. And then starting with your left hand and using your thumb and index finger, touch the tips of each finger, moving from the little finger to the thumb, and then place your thumb gently in the center of the palm. Just lightly touch it, let go, and then do the same on the other hand as well. Now I'm doing this very slowly, just so it's as a demonstration you can follow, but I will perform the action now at the speed which it should be performed at. Okay? So you're rubbing them together, building up that friction, building the energy, and then lightly touch in the middle. And the next thing you do with your eyes shut is focusing on that center point that you just touched with your thumb. Move your hands alternately up and down. And what you want to imagine is a beam of light coming up from above and hitting that center of the palms. And slowly, slowly raising each hand up and down, you will begin to feel a tingling sensation where you touch that palm of your hand. It could feel hot, it could feel cold, or it could just give a slight sensation. It's almost a little bit like an electric spark in the center of your hand at times. Now, when you do this in the evening time, just before you go to bed, which is the best time to do it, you will slowly start to feel tired as well. Your hands will start to feel very heavy as you're raising them up and down, and this is completely normal. It's a very good way to let go of any negativity that you're holding and to calm your mind before you rest. Now, if you perform this for 2, 3, 4 minutes until your hands feel very heavy, or until again you feel like you've done enough, then keep going. I would recommend a minimum of 2 minutes. And once you feel ready and you've done enough, bring your hands back together, thank the Lord for the day, and then what you want to do with your hands together, put them onto your left hand side and turn your body and lie down on your left hand side in the bed. So an example like this, and lie down as so. And this practice here should send you off quite easily to bed. If not, then what you do is you focus on your breath. As you lie there, focus on the breath in and out and up and down. It's a way of counting sheep, and slowly and gradually you will drift off into unconsciousness. And focus on the third eye chakra as you're doing it. Keep your focus on here and just be aware of your breath and follow it slowly and gently. I'm feeling tired just even talking about it now. But if you do that, negativity, anxiety will leave your body and will be replaced with good positive energy. That's it.
What next? Early in the morning.
Okay, so when you wake up in the morning, you'll be in this position. You probably would have rolled about a little bit, that's normal. But if you wake up, the first thing you want to do in the morning time, before you even open your eyes, is focus your awareness through your hearing on one of the natural sounds outside.
Connect with this.
Connect, exactly. So connect. So if you wake up in the morning and you hear the birds chirping, or you hear the breeze rustling through the trees, connect with that sound. And lie there for a couple of minutes, just connect with it, become that sound. Once you feel comfortable with that, open your eyes slowly and gradually. Inhale and sit up into bed. Now when you sit up in bed, one of your nostrils is going to be the prominent one. You're going to be breathing more deeply through either your left nostril or the right nostril, depending on what's more active, the Ida or the Pingala. Now once you locate which nostril that is, when you take your first step out of bed, correlate it with that nostril and foot. So say for instance my left nostril was the prominent one. As I step down out of bed, my left foot would touch the ground first, and as it touched the floor, you would say a mantra. So for instance, my mantra would be Omnamashivai. I would say that in the morning. So do that, and it's a great way to start your day. It's the best way to start your day. Another good thing to do is have a glass of copper, a copper flask next to your bed during the night, filled with water. As you sleep, your body gives out an energy, and the copper is a brilliant material for absorbing that energy. So as you take the water, first of all, I know it might sound a bit peculiar at first, but with your mouth, before you brush your teeth, before you wash, run your tongue around your mouth and swallow 3 times. And that, any of the energy that has seeped down, because it is created in your pineal gland, comes down into your throat, and you are taking that back in. It makes it even easier and more conducive and beneficial for your practices to do that. So do that 3 times, take your copper flask, drink the water that's there, and that also will absorb the energy. So you're just helping yourself in a lot of ways with your sadhana. As I said, then you can start your day. I mean, have a wash, do your thing. The next thing you want to do is 20 minutes before sunrise or after sunrise, you want to do your Surya practice, okay? Now this is very similar to Chandrama practice. Again, what you want to do is stand in an upright position and place your feet 45 degrees at an angle. Again, this is because the energy comes down from above, and with your feet being at 45 degrees, it enhances that energy and gives you more power when you're doing the practice. And again, same with the hands. So here's 90 again, straight up. You want it to be 45 degrees in between. Now you want to be looking towards the east, which is where the sun comes from, and then holding a copper lotus, a flask, keep it in your hands, and again, do not move your arms, but merely move your wrists up and down, and you will have water in the flask, and keep your eyesight focused on the sun, and slowly tilt your wrists so the water drains from the flask and goes onto the floor, keeping your eyes straight ahead, arms 45 degrees at an angle, feet 45 degrees at an angle, legs straight, until the water empties from the copper flask. Once it is, bring your wrists back together, you can raise your arms back down, and you can take your position for your further practices. Now, for me personally, after I've completed that practice, the Surya practice, I do a number of practices relating to Om Brahmari, where from the throat chakra to the third eye chakra, you announce Om and you bring it up to here, and then you vibrate the Om, sending it out, raising the pitch slightly, and as you feel your breath shortening, you bring it back in. I'll give you an example now. So, your hands for this, you want to have your left hand in your lap here, cupped, and your right hand on there as well. Now this is just good because it keeps your back straight while you're doing the practices. You want to make sure that your neck is straight as well, and your head's at 45, looking like that. So, hands like this, back straight, and then like I said, from the throat chakra to the third eye chakra, you pronounce Om and you hold it there, increasing the pitch and then bringing it back in. So an example would be this. Om. And each time afterwards, take a breath in, compose yourself, get ready for the next one. Personally, I do this 21 times. After 21 times, I move on to my next practice, which is the Gayatri Mantra.
Gayatri Mantra.
Exactly. A very powerful mantra. And this is in dedication to Shiva. The mantra itself holds a lot of power. The best way to do this, which Sannyasi showed me, was to do it in one breath as well. I know in the West we don't get taught that.
I am Shailendra, not Sannyasi.
Sorry, Shailendra. So, Shailendra taught me this way. And basically you take one breath in, and you have to think of it as layers. So, with each line of the mantra, you're raising it up like this. imagine you're doing that. So an example would be, I'll give you an example, and from here you'll be able to understand a bit better. Again, hands like before, left hand underneath the right in a cupped position, keeps your back straight. And I'm going to perform the mantra now for you. So, Om Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat.
Very good.
So, while I was reciting that, in my head, I'm focusing on the sound and raising it up. So the first part, Om Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. As so.
Next.
Next one is the Triambakam
Mahamrityunjay.
Exactly, mantra. Another one to Shiva, and this one is a protection mantra as well. So it's very good to keep you safe and secure. Now with this one, it's slightly different. You still want to do it in one breath, but the first part of the mantra is about creating and raising a sort of bubble above you. And then the second part, you bring it back into your heart chakra. So I'll give you another example. Again, keeping your hands the same. Compose yourself. Take a breath in. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivadanan Nova Rukamiva Bandana Mijo Mokshya Mamrita. So, I'll demonstrate now with my hands. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivadanan Nova Rukamiva Bandana Mijo Mokshya Mamritat. You want to bring it back in, and that's the process for that particular mantra. Again, in the morning after Gayatri Mantra, I will do that 21 times. Next practice for me, at this point I will do some praying as well. So I will do Omnamashivai 21 times, Om Harim Klim Chamundevichi 21 times.
Om Shivai Namaha.
And then there's this one as well. So Om Shivai Namaha is another one which is brilliant. So what you want to do for this one is focus on coming from the throat chakra, going up to the third eye, and then bringing it back down into the heart chakra, and then expressing your procrastinations. Surrendering to your deity. So again, for me, this is Shiva. This is one of Shiva's mantras. So I'll give you an example now. Om Shivai Namaha.
Om Shivai Namaha. Om Shivai Namaha.
Om Shivai Namaha. So then, raising up to the third eye, down to the heart, and then surrendering to Shiva. And if you focus your awareness onto these points, you give it that extra energy as well. And again, I do that 21 times.
And next, Devi Mantra.
Yes, so the next would be the Devi Mantra. So for this one, for me, it would be Kali Mata. Om Em Harim Klim Chamundeviche. And again,
Chamundai Viche.
Chamundai Viche. So again, raising it up, Chamundai Viche, going down. So, and you can have your hands in this position. Sometimes I like to put them in Jam Mudra as well. But again, make sure your back is straight.
Yes.
Your neck is in line with your spine, head angled up slightly. Om Em Harim Klim Chamundai Viche. Om Em Harim Klim Chamundai Viche. Om Em Harim Klim Chamundai Viche. As so. Just throw out. Continue like that. I also do some prayers as well, and whatever is your path, your journey, whatever you find works for you, you can do so in the morning. It shouldn't take any more than 25 minutes or something like that to do. And then once all that's complete, I move on to the meditation. Now this one is important. So what you want to do is whatever you feel most comfortable in, whether it's Jam Mudra, hands like this, you want to compose yourself, focus on your breath. Slowly focus on the air coming in, going down, back up, and out. And this continuous cycle.
Yes.
Just bring yourself into that position where you're aware of your breath going in and out.
Consciously.
Consciously.
You are here.
Exactly. And once you've focused and the breath and you are the same, you can focus your attention and connect to something of nature outside. So right now, I can hear the crickets and the bird just laughing as well.
Yes.
So it's
Hari Om.
So it's your choice. Just focus on one thing though. If there's 20 crickets, focus on that one cricket that is most prominent for you and keep connected to it. Follow the breath as well, and the longer you do this for, the more connected you become, the deeper into meditation you go, and the more benefit you would receive from it, the calmer your mind will be as well. And do that for about 5 or 10 minutes, or however long you enjoy, and then move on to another sound. So on the other side of me, I can hear the breeze coming through and the Ganga. So I'm going to focus onto the Ganga. And again, you connect with that. And slowly that noise, and the more you practice the meditation, the easier it becomes to connect with that sound. And the sound slowly becomes you. You lose the material body, the thoughts there, and you just become one with the sound. And the more and more you do it, the greater this becomes.
And then Shavasana.
And then, exactly, once you've done with that, once you're finished with your practice and meditations, Shavasana. Put yourself into that position, just relax, have your arms out to your side, your legs slightly out as well, feet out, and just again, focus, relax, and hear the noise, hear nature. And if you continue to do this for 180 days, you will notice the changes taking place within inside of yourself. And the whole reason for meditating and why we do this will become evident. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So since I've started doing these practices that Shailendra has passed on to me, I've started to notice the changes inside of myself. And the whole reason for me coming to India was to learn these practices and to take them back to the West and to teach people. And I really hope the video that we've just recorded and the ones that hopefully we'll record in the future will be of benefit, and people at home can learn the practices and derive the benefit from doing so. So I'd just like to thank Shailendra here, and I'd also like to thank Babaji as well.
Babaji,
For
blessings of
passing
Babaji.
all of the information down, and for us being able to transmute it out to the wider world as well.
हरिओम। मुझे लग रहा था कि आप लोगों की बहुत बार बार आ रही थी जिज्ञासाएं और शंकाएं, कैसे करें, क्या करें, पैकेज बताएं, जबकि पिछले 2 महीने में सब बता दिया है, लेकिन वो अलग अलग तरीके से अलग अलग वीडियो में बताया। एक बार तो पूरा प्रोसेस भी बताया, लेकिन हमारी जिज्ञासाएं और शंकाएं ज़्यादा होती हैं। करना हम शुरू करें तो अपने आप आगे बढ़ते जाते हैं। देखो माइकल ने इतने समय में, इतने कम समय में सब कुछ बिल्कुल सीख लिया, जैसा हमने बताया वैसा ही सीख लिया, पूरा पैकेज। और अभी पूरा पैकेज आपको बताया। अभी आप इस पैकेज को देखें प्रैक्टिस करें। कोई शंका हो तो मेरे लगते शंका की कोई गुंजाइश ही नहीं है, क्योंकि माइकल ने उसको डिस्क्राइब भी किया है कैसे करें क्या है। इसको देखें, करें, खुद महसूस करें अपने अंदर परिवर्तन। 90 डेज से 180 डेज 6 महीने करें विदाउट ब्रेक, सूर्यास्त से लेके सूर्य उदय तक। देवी का जो मंत्र है वो एडिशनल है, वो आप चाहो तो करो, चाहो तो मत करो। गायत्री और मृत्युंजय तो जोड़ा हुआ है, महामृत्युंजय और श्री गायत्री मंत्र। ओम शिवाय नमः आपको बताया हुआ है। देवी का कि शिव और शक्ति दोनों हो, तो शिव शक्ति का युगल जो मंत्र है ओम शिवाय नमः, ये युगल है। लेकिन आप चाहें तो देवी का अलग से भी कर सकते हैं। ओम शिवाय नमः आप लोग करें, देखें, इसका लाभ लें। तो बहुत अच्छा रहा आज इस पहाड़ी पर माइकल के साथ, और माइकल ने कितनी जल्दी सीख लिया, प्रैक्टिस करने लगे, फील भी कर रहे हैं चेंजेस, एनर्जेटिक महसूस कर रहे हैं अपने आप को। तो जब माइकल यहाँ रह के कर सकते हैं 1 महीने में, उनके लिए तो सब कुछ नया है, योगा नया, ये वाला पूरा पैकेज इनके लिए नया। लेकिन बाबा जी की ब्लेसिंग्स, इन्होंने उसको एक्सेप्ट किया, आत्मसात किया और प्रैक्टिस करना शुरू कर दिया। आप लोग भी करें, इसका आनंद लें। हरि ओम। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। हरि ओम,
हरि ओम।
हरि ओम।